Welcome to another Founder Wisdom Pod. We have Mark Lieblein with us. Mark is founder of a couple of companies. ChargeTab is one, Centas Med is another. We're both from Montreal. It's not his first startup. I want to talk about Insta Test Express. That was an interesting one during COVID-19. This pod is brought to you by podpire.com. That's my podcasting company. If you want to start a podcast, scale it, monetize it, go to podpire.com. Mark, welcome to the pod. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you're up to nowadays.
Hey, salut, Charles. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Yeah, so we got a couple of things cooking here in the fire. Charge Tab is something I started in 2018. Centas Med I started about 2 years ago after COVID ended, and Test Express finished. Uh, Both have nothing to do with each other, completely different categories, completely different client bases, completely different markets. One is definitely local, the other one is international. So I'm dealing with a lot of different things, a lot of different issues, and a lot of different challenges, and a lot of exciting things for both.
But first, you started at Millennium Converting. That was your first startup, I believe. You did 15 years at that company.
Yes, we were the largest independent paper converter on the East Coast. We were working with all the major North American and European paper mills, doing their production for them for North American market. Very boring, but it paid the bills and grew it into a nice business.
Did you exited that one?
We sold in 2017.
How life-changing was that?
I was a stay-at-home dad for a few months, extremely life-changing. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into something, and you wake up one day and it's not there anymore. Certainly, psychologically, it has its effects. It was life-changing to say the least, and got to spend a lot of time with the kids while figuring out what to do next. And then ChargeTab was born.
Yeah, tell me about that one.
ChargeTab was actually born out of necessity. Driving my son to school at the age of 12, I would let him know to text me when hockey practice was over. His phone would be at 3% at 7:30 in the morning, knowing full well he was never making it through the day. Begging him to take the power bank and the charging cable. Trying to convince a 12-year-old to take the power bank and charging cable is a losing battle. It's never going to happen. So I needed to find him something that was inexpensive, lightweight, pre-charged, something that he could throw in his bag. And there was really nothing out there. Power banks are fantastic. You have to remember to charge them, to bring them with you, to have the cable, and convincing a 12-year-old is not going to happen. So ChargeTab was born. I designed it, I developed it, I patented it, and we're very proud of it. We're right now selling in 8 countries. The US is our biggest marketplace right now, for sure.
Love that. Explain the environmental component of it.
Well, knowing that I wanted to have something that was pre-charged and lightweight, packaged in a weatherproof packaging, I knew that I had to develop something that would be environmentally friendly, something that I have 3 children. I want to leave them a world that is better than the world that I inherited. Um, so we created, I guess, the perfect environmental product, which is insane when you think about it, as has a lithium battery, but we don't produce any lithium whatsoever. All our batteries are sourced from landfills, from the secondary market. Every time a charge tab is purchased, there is one less battery destroying the planet. So it is an amazing green product. We offer a free return recycling program as well. Not to mention, we developed a paper shell. So the actual packaging of it is like a high grade egg crate. I guess my paper converting background helped us develop that proprietary product. So there is no PVC in it. It's a paper shell. So we're very proud of the product, and happy to help those in need and help the environment at the same time.
And I mean, 55 USD for 10, how come it is so cheap?
I can make it more expensive. We want to. We
You
want
should.
to. No, no, no. We listen. We're competing against power banks. We're competing. Today you can buy a power bank for $10. It is a single-use product, but it is not a disposable product. So we encourage you, of course, to send it back. A $5 item is something that everyone who has a mobile device can afford. You would think so. You know, an iPhone is $1,000 today. So for $5, you have that life insurance policy, and we have saved lives, many, many lives. In fact, we were recognized by MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, a few years ago, who were very proud of our program dealing with bars and restaurants, having our product at the bar and at all these restaurants and clubs. People were not getting behind the cars when their phone was not dead. They were able to call their cab and get their Uber. So they were proud to work with us.
That's very cool. So I can just use it and throw it in the garbage after and not
No,
worry, or
no way, man.
no?
You gotta be environmentally conscious. You go on our website once you've used it, and you fill out the form, and we send you a prepaid shipping label. You got to send that back to us. Do not throw it out.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I'm so like oblivious to all of that. Not that I use lots of batteries nowadays. I actually don't. The sponsorship, the custom branding part of it, how much of these do you actually sell? It's like I organize my own golfing tournament and I could have
Sure.
my branded battery.
Absolutely. You know, we saw a huge need in the promo market, the swag market. We've done many of the trade shows of the promotional products world, and you know, everyone has swell bottles and coffee mugs and passport holders. Those are great. You'll never say, "Man, this coffee cup saved my life." So, you know, when companies approach us to do private branding and promotional products, they recognize the importance of power. They recognize the importance of safety and being there. And you know, when Netflix or Budweiser, Red Bull, we've worked with some of the largest brands on the planet. They put their logo on your product because they know that when you need a charge tab, you are in desperate need of power. And you know, nothing is better than saying, you know, Netflix or Red Bull saved my life in this case.
Interesting. Tell me about the COVID test thing. Why did you decided to start that? I guess you're an opportunist as well. You identified the opportunity. So tell me about that adventure.
Well, the only thing that could stop our exponential growth with Charge Tab is if no one left their homes. And in 1,000 years, that's never happened. I mean, it's crazy to think something like that could happen, but it happened. It happened for 2 years. So while we were not selling Charge Tab, I was looking for something that was interesting to do. So we developed drive-through COVID testing centers in shopping malls, parking lots, and here in Montreal and Quebec, not unlike the rest of Canada, healthcare isn't great. The public system, while it's free, and I say free because technically you don't pay for it up front, but you're paying, you know, 60% tax rate effective. So it's certainly not free. It's not great. The need was there. You know, go back a few years, you needed your negative test to travel, you need your negative test to go to work, to go to school, to do all these things. We developed the largest independent private testing service in Montreal. At our peak, we had over 15 locations testing thousands of people a day. And it was an amazing rocket ship. And as quickly as the rocket ship went up, COVID ended in June of 2022 when President Biden came on the news and said no antigen tests are required for travel, and the company was done after that. But it did highlight the need for a private testing, private medical service, which is why Centas Med was born. We don't do any COVID testing with Centas, but we do everything else from viral, bacterial, bloods, nursing services. Huge need here in Montreal and in Quebec for the process. But you know, compared to ChargeTab, which is an international product and an international opportunity, Centas right now is very localized and niche for Montreal right now.
And the type of rocket ship that it was, let's say $50 or $50 to $100 per test, right? And it's quite useful because it allowed people to travel, people that forgot or anything, and people are quite desperate when they're travel from a nomads. Myself that traveled
Yeah.
to a bunch of countries, hundreds of times in the last couple of years. Yeah, we're in such a state of mind that this product can be useful. Let's say that you sold, I don't know, like 50 of these per day. So would it be like a 30 to 100K a month type of rocket ship?
At the beginning, it was, and you would have to add a couple of zeros to that. We were at $75 for an antigen, $150 for a PCR. If you recall, you needed one or the other. Sometimes you needed the PCR, sometimes you needed the antigen. And we were doing well over 1,000 tests a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to build such a rocket ship? Very few people have done that in their lifetime.
It was an amazing opportunity. It was lightning in a bottle. I made a lot of mistakes and wasted, I don't want to say wasted a lot of money. When you're hanging on to a rocket ship for your dear life, you're just spending to keep that rocket ship going. Impossible to do proper costing analysis. Everything is just too fluid. Everything is just too mobile. It's just too much going on at the same time. An amazing experience. Steady, calculated growth is a long-term plan. Uh, Sometimes a rocket ship happens, and as mentioned, you're just holding on for dear life.
And you get the bank calling, hey, why so much money? Hey, stop.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
Okay.
Basically, yes. Not even enough time to get a credit card for the company.
Yeah, literally. That's quite impressive. Okay, and Centas, how much time do you spend on Centas nowadays? How much time on ChargeTab?
Yeah, so it's very cyclical. It comes and goes. It ebbs and flows. I have a great team around me that helps manage both. As mentioned, both have their own challenges. Both have their own benefits. Both are amazing opportunities that are completely different, but at the same time, uh, just a lot of fun. A lot of fun to deal with for both.
And I heard you have a Centas Med Estetic now.
We did. It was a natural progression. The nursing and locations that we have fall directly synergistic with offering medical injections as well as cosmetic injections. So, trying to monetize as much as we can our infrastructure, knowing that patients are having a database of patients to offer them additional products. It was a natural fit and a natural progression. We have the team, we have the staff, we have the back end, we have the knowledge, we have the marketing departments. Why not?
So I'm seeing here on your website you have hospital wait times, and then that redirects to Go Well. And I'm seeing that most of our hospitals in Quebec and slash Montreal are overoccupied. Why do you think the health system is that way?
Because the government is in charge. There is no private, as you know, coming from Montreal, there really is no private option here in Quebec. Everything is socialized. Everything is controlled by the government with layer after layer after layer of bureaucracy. So unfortunately, there is no other option. I believe a blood test for free today using the public system. The next available appointment is in late May. So forget about surgeries, forget about everything else. It's a really difficult scenario here, and unfortunately, if you have the means to sort of jump the line, you'll do that. And not unlike the U.S., a lot of companies here offer private health insurance. So if you have private health insurance, most of our products are fully reimbursable, or at least partially reimbursed.
Are there case studies in the world in which countries have privatized their health system successfully?
I don't know. I don't know. I know that in the US, there's it's a really bad two-tier system where you have the haves and the have-nots, and it's not an easy scenario. But at the same time, we're doing our part to help those who can afford it, get the help that they need. And we do a lot of charity work also to make sure that we're giving back as much as we can.
Here in Mexico, there's a lot of private places, but that's because the government can't handle anything quite literally. So we can't say it's a successful case studies, but if I want health in Mexico, I'm gonna get it. If I go in Mexico City, obviously I have to pull dollars out of my pocket, but as an quote unquote anti-socialist like me, that's fine. Like I make my own money, I can spend it as much as I want, and I can prioritize my own health. What are your top goals as a CEO this year? What is your focus?
That's a great question. I'm always looking for new opportunities. Serial entrepreneur. Really anything from soup to nuts catches my eye. If it's something fun, trying to build something sustainable. Bring Centas to a national level and then international offering. We have a lot of irons in the fire regarding our next steps with Centas. And ChargeTab too. There are 4 billion smartphone users on the planet, billion with a B. Every one of them is a customer, regardless of location, season, demographic, age, religion, race. Every one of them is a customer, and every one of them should have a ChargeTab. So we're looking to expand globally.
When you're on your deathbed and you're by your son's side, what would you want your son to know to live his best life?
Uh, just find the right life partner. Life is a journey, and it's lonely to go at it alone. If you find that right partner, uh, not a business partner, but a life partner, it makes the journey worthwhile.
Where can people find out more about you, Mark?
Chargetab.com, centasmed.com. You could find me on LinkedIn, and there you go.